But the problem with pointing your finger and being the victim and blaming other people for the problems in your life is that you have to wait for that person to fix that problem if that problem is their fault. When you take control of your life, you're taking responsibility of those problems, and then from that point, now you can fix it because now you've taken responsibility for it, and now it is in your control to fix. You've taken it out of the control of whoever you were blaming it on to begin with. Hey guys, and welcome to Live Your Bliss, where we learn to manifest the life of our desires. And on this channel, we talk all about law of attraction and ways to live the best life that you can possibly live. So if those are things that you think you want to watch, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you never miss a video. And if you get any information that you can use from this video, make sure you click that like button, give me a little comment, let me know what you think about it. Those are ways that you can interact with me, let YouTube know that you're enjoying my content so they will suggest them to other people, and everybody deserves to know how to live the best life that they can possibly live. So today we're going to be talking about things that I did to help shift my mindset, to help me be more positive more of the time. And I say more of the time because really it's impossible to be positive 100% of the time, and it's a little bit unhealthy too, if you ask me. I mean, we are humans, we're meant to enjoy this experience in every way, so that means positive and negative emotions, but it's really in our resistance that we start building more in our life. It's when things are bad, when you're down, when you're upset, that's when you start wanting for more and having that desire to make more or do more with your life. I mean, honestly, if everything was perfect all of the time, then you would really never want more in your life and you would never grow. But though resistance is needed, you cannot constantly live in those emotions, those feelings of lack and always feeling like that you're missing something in life or your life isn't completed. Constantly thinking those type of thoughts will keep you manifesting that type of life. It will keep you manifesting that lack into your life. So shifting your mindset is really about finding the balance between your resistance and your positivity. I personally have always pretty much been a mostly positive person, but I had a lot of subconscious beliefs and thoughts that I picked up from my environment through my life that really had me into the life that I promised myself that I would never live. So I had to start working through those subconscious beliefs one by one to start forming new habits and new thought patterns that helped serve my life a little bit better and helped me create a better future for myself. So how did I do that? Let's talk about it. So the first thing that I did is that I accepted that a change in my mindset was needed. Changing your mindset is going to take you getting out of that victim mindset and accepting that you are in control of your life. That means every part of your life, the good and the bad, things that are in your life, they were created by you. Not saying they were your fault, saying they were created by you, by your thoughts, by your beliefs. And that is not an easy pill to swallow. At least it wasn't for me personally. I blamed my parents for not teaching me things. I blamed the teachers, the government. I mean, whoever was there that I could point a finger at to blame for me not being where I wanted to be in my life, I blamed them for it. But the problem with pointing your finger and being the victim and blaming other people for the problems in your life is that you have to wait for that person to fix that problem if that problem is their fault. When you take control of your life, you're taking responsibility of those problems, and then from that point, now you can fix it because now you've taken responsibility for it, and now it is in your control to fix. You've taken it out of the control of whoever you were blaming it on to begin with. Deep. When you say, this is my life, I am in control of it, good and the bad, I've created this life that I'm in, and I am a co-creator in this life. And just doing that right there is going to start a huge mind shift Shifting yourself out of that victim mindset is going to be the first step to shifting yourself into a better life. That is how you take control of your life. So that is going to be my first tip, is realizing that this is your life, you're in control of it, and realizing that it's only going to take you shifting your thoughts to change it. No one else is needed to change your life. So number 2, I journaled and I scripted every single day. This was my way of staying in tune of how I was feeling and how I wanted to feel. I mentioned this a little bit in my last video about limiting beliefs. If you haven't checked that out, I'll make sure I tag it in here for you. But to start changing any sort of beliefs or mindsets or thoughts or anything like that, you have to be aware of what those thoughts are, what that mindset is. So journaling was a really great way for me to look into my thought patterns and my mindset from the outside. So I would journal and I would be completely honest, and I would write out how I felt on a daily basis. I would write out how I was feeling, and then I would go back and read that from a non-connected place, from the outside, from a third perspective, so I could really take a peek into really how my mindset was working. And then right after I journaled and got out my true emotions, right after that I would do a scripting of how I want my future to be. So I would get all of those emotions out, get all my real feelings out, and then I would go straight into manifesting what I want. I would start scripting about how my dream day would be. At that time, I was scripting a lot about living in Florida because I was trying to move to Florida. So that was my daily ritual for about a year. I did that every single day. The most important thing when you're journaling is to make sure you're being honest with yourself. Nobody's going to be reading your journal. So make sure you're being completely truthful and honest with how you're feeling, because that, like I said, you're going to be going back and reading that, and you want to really see where your mind is, where your mindset is, where your thoughts are. You will never really know what's going on in your subconscious mind if you don't get real with yourself when you're writing in those journal entries. Now, the whole reason for me scripting afterwards, so I can remind myself where I was going. Again, it's a good thing to feel that resistance, but you don't want to stay in that. You don't want to live in that, because you're going to keep manifesting it over. So me scripting right after that was me going back into the manifestation mode, me remembering exactly why I'm doing this journaling, why I'm wanting to know what those subconscious beliefs are, because I'm trying to get those out the way so I can manifest this that's in my scripting journal. So that was my big reason for scripting afterwards, to keep me on the right path of knowing, we're not going to get stuck in this journal entry. Remember, we're doing this to get here. So don't get trapped in that. If you don't constantly remind yourself why you're doing this, what you're doing this stuff for, you will just eventually fall back into your old habits, into your old lifestyle. So number 3, why did I say it like that? So number 3, I was always thinking about what I'm thinking about. It sounds complicated, but it's not. And for the first little bit of this journey, you have to pay attention to your thoughts. You need to be aware of what's going in and out of your mind all of the time. I gave my mind no idle time. I did not let my mind roam. There wasn't any idle daydreaming going on in my mind. If I wasn't thinking about something about my future or visualizing something about my future, I was thinking affirmations, saying those over and over in my head or something like that. When I started thinking negative thoughts, I would catch those, stop them, and then plug an affirmation in. This is not easy. It's probably the hardest part for me personally, but it gets easier as you go because you're building it a habit. And now at this point, yes, I still have negative thoughts, but now I catch them a lot quicker. I recognize when my vibrations are low, when I'm thinking really negative thoughts or I'm feeling really uneasy. I recognize those things now and I correct them a lot quicker. And really without even thinking about it, because I made that a habit and I worked hard to do it at the beginning. Also, I paid attention to the stuff that was around me and the people that were around me. If people around me spoke from that mindset that I'm trying to change, I started limiting my conversation with them. If I could, limiting my communication with them at all, just not even being around them if possible. And if I'm around them, I tried to control the conversation as much as possible to keep it on the path that I needed to be. I paid attention to the music I was listening to and things like that, the things I was watching on TV. Everything constantly, all day, guys, is constantly having influences on your mindset, on your thought patterns, and those are ending up having influences on your manifestations. So you need to be paying attention to all that stuff that's coming in, especially at the beginning when you're really vulnerable to going back to that old mindset. When you're trying to change your mindset and go onto a new path, you need to be very strict with yourself and very disciplined. It won't be easy, but you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So number 4, I listen to sleep affirmations and subliminal music. And this kind of piggybacks off of number 3. But like I said, this is a constant job. This is going to be something that you need to be constantly doing when you're trying to shift your mindset, when you're trying to start instilling new thoughts into your mind. This will be a day and night job. And thank God for YouTube, because they have tons of music with subliminal affirmations, tons of just regular affirmations. You can make your own. But I used to back then listen to the subliminal music, like the sleep music, maybe nature sounds or something, and then they have positive affirmations under those sounds. I would listen to that while I was sleeping. While I'm cleaning the house and stuff, instead of putting on some music, I had me on some subliminal affirmations. Like I said, guys, this is constant. I was constantly feeding myself that new mindset that I was trying to create. There was no idle time. There was no time to fall back and relapse into that old mindset. I gave myself no time, not even while I was sleeping. In my dreams, I was getting fed affirmations. Like I said in the last tip, at the beginning, you really have to start paying attention to what's going into your mind. So replace that music with some affirmation music. Start creating you a playlist of your favorite affirmation musics on YouTube and pop those in, especially when you're feeling down or upset or something like that, as a way to shift your mindset instantly. It is very important. Also, they have different hertz of music, like 432 hertz, that helps with getting those messages into your subliminal mind a bit quicker. So research all that. Get on YouTube and start finding you some music to listen to so you can constantly feed that new mindset all the time. The most important thing really when it comes to trying to change your mindset is just being patient with yourself, being compassionate with yourself. This stuff wasn't instilled in you overnight, so therefore it will not change overnight. So you need to be really patient with yourself, and really honestly, one day you're just going to wake up and then you're going to notice all day you didn't have a negative thought. And you're going to be like, oh, I did it. It's going to just happen before you know it, but it's going to take work. It's going to take consistency and a little bit of self-discipline, but it's really worth it to get to the life that you're really dreaming to live. Eventually, when you do start having negative thoughts, you're going to be instantly replacing those with positive thoughts without any thinking about it. I mean, before you know it, your life is going to change. And it's only going to start with you changing your mindset. Isn't that crazy? All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here and making it to the end of the video. I am so grateful for you. I hope you got some information you can use. And if you did, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. Join the family. I would love to have you here. And if you haven't already, check out my social medias. I post on there every single day to make sure you guys have exactly what you need to live the best life that you can possibly live. I hope you guys are out there thriving. I hope you are prosperous. I hope you are living the best life that you can ever possibly feel like you were living. And most importantly, I hope you're living your bliss.